with that said, real quickly, my story is I was born and raised in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and was never a great student. I was nothing better than a C. I never really made above C's in my life, and I begged my way into University of New Mexico in Albuquerque. And so basically tonight you need to know you're being trained by somebody who's pretty stupid. Okay, I was never really that successful in school, and I went to college and I took my C's to a D. Okay, I took it a D average. And I learned one thing in my freshman year in college. I learned one thing. At spring break, everybody left and went to Daytona Beach for a week. Okay, I said, well, if they do that for a week, I'll do it for a year. So I quit school and went to Daytona Beach for a year. Okay, and I became a beach bum. And my nickname at Daytona Beach was Gorgeous George. So that's who I was. And I had, like we all do at some point in our life, I had that day day of decision, that day of disgust in my life. And we all have that day at different times in our life when we make a decision, we're going to change our lives. And I had that day, okay, and I said, I'm better than this, I can do better than this. And I decided to go back to school. I loaded up my 1964 Dodge Dart Slant 6, put everything I had in it because it fit in the back seat, everything I had, and drove back to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and begged my way back into school. And got back into school, went straight A's the first semester. I never made A's in my life. Went on to get into business school, graduated at the very top of my class. So I guess what I'm saying is you can never been successful at anything, and all of a sudden you can make a decision, and things can change. And so with that, I graduated at the top of my class, and this whole story I'm going to draw on the whole night. So I'm not doing this just to pat myself on the back. When I go into my training, I'm going to draw on all this to show you how you got to think, because I'm going to really spend a lot of time, more than anything else tonight, talking about how to think more than how to do, okay? How to do comes very easy if you think right. Everything I'm going to talk about tonight is based upon what I have done literally hundreds, if not thousands of times. And everything I'm going to talk about tonight has proven itself, and it has worked many times. What I mean by that is I've been involved in different companies in this industry with different types of products. I have worked not only in the United States, but in other continents and other countries. And everything I'm going to share with you tonight has worked every single time. Matter of fact, I was recently introduced at a symposium that was made up of the biggest direct sales companies in this industry. And the head of that industry said, for all he knows, I'm the only person they know that's done 4 different companies, and each one of them has gone to the very top. 3 of them did over $1 billion in sales total of organizations that I built. So, well, I guess I'm saying all this to say that it's worked for me every single time. It's worked with different products. It's worked with different languages and different continents. And it's the same exact thing I've done every single time. And if one thing you're going to come away with tonight's presentation from me is I'm probably the most boring person you've ever seen in this industry. If there's one thing I do is I master the mundane. I do very simple little things, and I master them, okay? And I think one of the biggest problems in this industry is we have a tendency to try and come up with little angles on it, little ways we can improve the business. And I can just tell you, from my perspective, is the key in this business is take very simple concepts and master them. The biggest problem I've always said is that, and I talked about this earlier, that we're not taught in school how to understand businesses. We're taught in school how to, add, write, do all those things, but you're not taught how to think. You're not taught philosophies. You're not taught attitude. That's not preached to you how important that is. You're not taught how to perceive an opportunity. Who here attended a course, how to perceive an opportunity and position myself in front of it? Who attended that course? You are not taught how to perceive opportunity. And I think that's one of the biggest problems you have as people will come into your organization, you start building your organization, is understand that the average person doesn't know how to perceive an opportunity. I always quote this gentleman, Arthur Schopenhauer. He's a philosopher again, okay? We're back to philosophies. Arthur Schopenhauer was a philosopher in Germany 200 years ago. Arthur Schopenhauer said, all opportunities go through 3 stages. First of all, it'll be ridiculed. Second of all, it'll be opposed. Third of all, it will serve as self-evident. He said that the vast majority of us will not get involved in the first 2 stages. We'll wait until it's self-evident. Only a small group will get involved in the first 2 stages with the Opportunities Act. So what was Arthur Schopenhauer really trying to say? He was trying to say the key to success is to find something that's going to be self-evident before it's self-evident. You're not taught to think that way. See, I have people come up to me and they go, Jeff, I got in and I've approached 10 people and talked to them about it and they don't get it. And I go, isn't that good? Or are you messing with me or something? I mean, are you making fun of me? Now, I go, no. Because what if you went and approached 10 people and 8 of them got it, and then they went and approached 10 people and 8 of them got it? It would be over. Quit wanting what you don't want. If everybody got it, it had already been done. It's a philosophy. You got to quit wanting what you don't want. Now, if you went out there and approached 10 people, nobody got it because what you were doing was stupid, that's different. But if you go out there, it's not self-evident to the masses. That's exactly what you want. But you got to understand, as these people come and go, they're going to go out there and they're going to get that rejection, and it's going to freak them out. And they're going to think there's something wrong with the company, something wrong with the product, something wrong with them. And they don't realize it's exactly what it's supposed to look like, okay? Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Successful people live out of their comfort zone. I'll talk about that later. There is no money in your comfort zone. And you're not taught that. You are literally taught in school how to work for somebody, stay in your little block, support people who think that way, and stay in your little comfort zone. God forbid you get out of your comfort zone. That's pound you right back into your little square. So what I'm trying to say here is, more than anything else, as a leader, you're going to have to change the way you think. You're going to have to change the way you think, and you're going to have huge belief and vision of where the company is trying to go. With that said, I'm going to just go through these 10 core commitments. And here's the question I'm going to ask every person. I'm just telling you, everything I'm going to ask you to do tonight is easy to do. Definition of easy is something that you can do. You know why most people fail? Because it's easy not to. It's just easy not to. And I'm going to talk about later on why you make that mistake. But here's the 10 core commitments. We have a Getting Started Right book. We go through that with somebody. Is that very tough to do? Okay, that's not hard. We ask people to do 2 exposures a day. And I'm going to talk about that later on. Is that very hard to do? No. We ask people to attend their weekly business briefing. I mean, that definition of easy is something that you can do. Is that something that everybody can do? We ask people to send out a 1 long distance package a week, which most people don't. We ask everybody to attend the regional Super Saturdays that come along once a month. We ask people to attend the major corporate events that we have. We ask people to commit to personal development, find a workout partner, and be here a year from now. Is that tough stuff? Why is it, if that is so easy, and that's all you need to know, and it's all I ever did with those other companies, it's all I ever did, it never added a little thing to it, and it worked with different products in different companies, different countries, why is it most people can't do it? Why is it that most people cannot master the mundane? Why is it most people will not do what I say is give the biggest gift you've got to give the organization, which is persistency and consistency? Before I start getting into some more of the different philosophies of this, I just want to talk a little bit about the company. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time because you have great meetings and all that, but I want to kind of give you a little bit of my vision of this company because I think it's real important that you realize that this company is going places with or without you. So it's kind of like, are you going to get a piece of the action or not? Okay, and my opinion, quite honestly, is every one of you in here deserves a piece of it. The one thing I've enjoyed the most is I've seen it as a great equal opportunity. What I mean by that is I've seen people of all different backgrounds, walks of life, have success. And I can just tell you this, without knowing you, I'll promise you this, I've met hundreds of people who are very, 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 very similar to you, who have already achieved financial independence. So what I'm trying to say is you can do it. I'll just guarantee you that probably the difference between them and you right now, if it's not working, is their philosophies are in order. And the thing that I've enjoyed the most, it works for all types of people. I've seen people who never were successful. They maybe never got their college degree. And I want to say one thing. When I talk about success tonight, I'm talking finances. I recognize right up front, success is much bigger than finances. Success is your family. Success is your spirituality. It's your health. It's your relationships. I mean, it's a big picture, but for tonight, we're talking finances, okay? Finances make all those other ones better, okay? And so, but what I mean is, I've seen people who had never really made it before. They never really, got the degree or climbed the corporate ladder, became a professional, owned a franchise, became an officer of the company. They've never really been successful. They see it makes sense to them. They get involved, okay, they're nervous, they've never done anything like this before. And I've seen people like that over and over, all of a sudden, they start making money here. They start making money equal to what they've made working for somebody. And it's really neat when you make money for yourself versus working for somebody. The exact same dollars are way more exciting when you make them for yourself than when you make them working for somebody. The exact same dollars is like 10 times more, is it not? All of a sudden that happens, things start changing. You see the light turn on in them. You see the self-esteem start to grow. And all of a sudden, they're making more money than they ever thought they could make. I've seen people like make more money than the person they used to work for, make more money than the company they used to work for. I've seen that over and over and over. On the other hand, I've seen people who, quote unquote, were successful. They got their degree, they climbed the corporate ladder, they became a professional, business owner, whatever it might be. They get involved on a very part-time basis. And when I get into how to do this business tonight, I'm going to talk about a 10 to 15 hour a week model. I think we pour way too much stuff on people. I mean, I don't care if you're somebody who's never made it and you're grinding out over there in a job that you hate, or you're somebody who has made it and you're running a business. Basically, you cannot force people into anything more than about a 10 to 15 hour a week commitment, okay, than that. And I think we grind too much into people, and that's another reason why you don't get the duplication. But I've seen people like that get involved on a part-time basis. They start working the business, and all of a sudden, through time, this part-time endeavor is equaling this career endeavor. You know, what they went to school for, what they've been building for 10, 15 years, and all of a sudden they see this thing equaling it in income. And I've seen over and over and over people walk away from quote-unquote success to do full-time because you know what you can get here that you can't get anywhere else? You get time and freedom. I mean, I'll just tell you this. That's, to me, forget the money. It's the time and freedom that comes from the money. That is, to me, the greatest gift, that I have that flexibility in your life. You don't know what it feels like to be able to kind of just do what you want to do at the pace you want to do it. Okay, it's one of the greatest things that ever happened to you. So I guess what I'm saying is there's a great equal opportunity. I just think it's very, very important, though, you have this vision where we're going. Because guess what? People come, they come in this business, and you see them, they come, they get in, all these great things are happening, and they come and they go. And they want to say it has something to do with the company. And let it take them out of the business. You have got to have the belief and the vision of where this company's going. And it's going to be way better 10 years from now than where we're at today. That's what I want. I want something that's expanding and growing.